This is our fourth Education Symposium, and this is our second year in the city of Selma. Selma said to us on last year, please return, and we returned. And so we are grateful, as I've said before, to be here. In a world filled with competing priorities, you made a decision to be here, and that tells me something about you. It tells me that you believe our children deserve more. It tells me that you understand that strong schools don't happen by accident. And it also tells me that you are willing to learn, engage, and lead. And so today, I want to answer three simple questions. Why this symposium? Why does voting matter? And why is our theme this year #refining? Why this symposium? People often ask why we host this symposium every year. The answer is simple: because information is power. Parents cannot advocate for opportunities they do not know exist. Communities cannot influence systems they don't understand, and children cannot reach their fullest potential when the adults around them aren't equipped with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to lead. This symposium exists to equip, inform, and empower families. We're not having breakout sessions, but every panel discussion, every resource table, every conversation in this particular place has been intentionally designed with one purpose in mind: to help you become a stronger advocate for your children in your life and children in the lives that you have connections with. We believe informed parents become influential parents, and influential parents change schools, communities, and ultimately our state. Secondly, why voting matters. This year's symposium comes during an important election decision and season. And when the team was preparing for this year's symposium, as we looked at the dates, the first thing that I said was, my God, it would be leadership, Black leadership malpractice to have people in the room and we do not emphasize the importance of getting to the polls for the general election on November the 3rd. There are some cities that are represented in here who have elections, local elections, on August the 23rd. We have a state representative who came all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, Senator Rayshawn Kemp, to be right here with us today to say, I want to be present because what's happening in Selma, what's happening in Alabama, is happening in Georgia. Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, we're all cousins. We're all cousins. And you think I'm lying? We wouldn't be in this place if the Calais decision had not happened in Louisiana to change and essentially gut voting right opportunities for us across the country. For our governor, and I'm coming off my script, for our governor to call a special session to bring our elected officials back in office for 1 week. And I attended the special sessions. And on that Wednesday, when we were listening to the appeals of our elected officials as to why we should not return to the previous maps that did not have representation for all people, regardless of our race or gender in the state of Alabama, and our counterparts were literally walking out as these debates were happening on the state floor. A gubernatorial candidate showed up the day the debates were taking place, and our counterparts got up and walked out of what I call the peanut gallery while debates were going on. That is exactly how we are being considered. And so for me, I'm a child of God. And so I know this organization name is Black Alabamians for Education, and one may assume that we are only in this place today, or the existence is because we're only advocating for Black families, and that is not true. What is true about why we are Black Alabamians for Education is because when you look at the data of how children are performing across the state of Alabama, what you see is that children who look like me are underperforming. And so I wanted to sound the alarm in our community that we needed to wake up people who are connected to children to ensure that they in fact are informed with information so that you can support your superintendents, so that you can support your school board members, so that you can support your educators to ensure that children access everything that God has made available to them. If our children cannot read, then they can't access the promises of God. They have to depend on what someone else is interpreting for them. And how fair is that for that to happen? And so that is why we are Black Alabamians for Education. That is why we convene and ask partners and friends to come and be a part of what we do. And so again, getting back to voting, no matter where you live or how long you've been voting, one thing remains true. Many of the decisions that shape a child's education are made by people whose names appear on the ballot. School board members, mayors, city councils, county commissioners, state legislators, and even governors, and so much more every single day. Voting is one of the most powerful ways we can help shape the future of education. It is not just a right, it is a responsibility. So today isn't about telling you who to vote for, but it is telling you you need to vote. The last is why the hashtag refining. Our theme this year is refining. When you hear the word refining, many people think of gold. And Shatay started talking about this with me yesterday. Gold is valuable from the moment it's discovered. Before it shines, before it reflects its true beauty, it must go through fire. The fire removes the impurities. The fire strengthens. The fire reveals what is valuable all along. The same is true for us. This year has refined many of us. Some have experienced disappointments. Some have faced uncertainty. Some have fought difficult battles in your schools, in our families, in careers, in communities, yet you are here. Not just here physically in this place, but you are still standing, still believing, still advocating, and still showing up. Refining is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing everything that keeps us from becoming who we were created to be. So today, I challenge each of us to allow this symposium to refine our thinking, refine our leadership, refine our advocacy, and refine our commitment. Finally, it must help us refine our vision for where we see children all across this country being and going. Because every conversation that you have today, every note you take, every relationship you build, every idea you carry back to your community has the potential to create opportunities for children you'll never even meet. Y'all get that? Every conversation, everything we hear today has the potential to change a community for children that you'll never even meet. Yes, you have that kind of impact. Yes, we have that kind of purpose. So guess what? I need you to ask questions, meet someone new, challenge your thinking, share your experiences because our children deserve it. So as I close, let's learn together, let's lead together, let's refine together. And again, welcome to our Education Symposium 2026.